to the OMG Hour.
Welcome, everybody. It is episode number 383 of the OMG Hour, and I am your host, Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
Still weird. And I am your other host, Tico, or Mr. Second Place.
Yeah, because
now I've got one too.
Now nobody wants you in first place.
No, well, who wants to be in first place? It's, you always want to, that way you always have something to strive towards.
And you will never make it because you're Mr. Second Place, so
no,
you have no hope.
I would like to point out
you've gone as far as you can possibly go.
I am Mr. Second Place, Mr. First Place, and Mr. Third Place. I have all three of those gamer tags.
Well, you don't go by that, so...
No, I'm Mr. Second Place.
Fair enough.
That's what we go with. That's what it is.
Well, did Mr. Second Place play anything this week?
Yes.
Do you want to start with the most boring subject of all?
Sports! So sports. So the 2K guys have decided to put out another sports game.
Sports. Rah.
So NBA 2K21
Go team.
Came out today. It came out. And as you know, I'm a big fan. I've actually been playing NBA 2K20 almost every single day for the last through the pandemic because it's something I can easily play. I don't have to think about it. Don't have to do anything else but play. So the new one has come out. They've made some changes to the shooting mechanics. So when you've played the old one right before the new one, it takes a long time to figure out the timing and mechanics of some sports games, and sometimes that's a little frustrating.
It is. I totally get it, Tico. Yeah, that's
well. I mean, we're talking sports, but it happens in all games. Assassin's Creed changes. How to do combos or how to do counters or something like that, and you play the new game, it's like your timing's off.
Well, yeah. Because I remember when Assassin's Creed changed the stab button from the Y to the X button.
Yeah,
it was like, wait, hang on a minute.
Yeah, and it throws you off, and so it's done that. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a completely new look, completely new mechanics for everything. It's going to take me a while to get used to, but I am glad that it's out. It's a weird situation because it is out now in September, which is usually September, October is usually when they come out. But it's usually right before the NBA season starts.
Well, the NBC season's been canceled.
No, they're playing right now, Sean.
Oh, wow.
They've started back up, and they're actually in the playoffs now.
I thought they stopped playing for something. Went on, they did some kind of a protest strike.
Yeah, so they had basically a strike for 2 or 3 days to protest yet another murder of a black man in the States.
There's no other way to say it. That's exactly what it was.
And so they actually walked out, and so a slate of games, 3 days worth of games, were completely canceled. Teams refused to take the floor in order to bring a light to this the subject, and I'm good for them. I think it's fantastic that they did that. The NBA themselves have and the owners have put their money where their mouth is, and they're doing some things in order to help the communities and stuff like that. They've actually turned every NBA arena will be a polling station for this upcoming election.
Cool.
To hopefully make sure that they get rid of the crazy guy who's running things now. Yeah, NBA review turned into a political statement.
Wow, that's NBA 2K21.
Yes, so it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I want to play more. I suck at it right now because the shot selection thing is not so easy. But yeah, normally this would be at the beginning of a new season. So this is coming out while the playoffs are still going on, and that's NBA 2K21.
Well, speaking of sucking at sports games, I actually started playing this week because I finished 100% this time. I got the last 3 achievements I needed. I know last week I said 2, but I needed 3 for Ghost of Tsushima. It's completely done, 100%. There's nothing left to do. Which is sad because when the moment I got the platinum trophy, which is completing everything, I got the most incredible armor die that now I just want a new game plus so I can play with that armor.
So now there's nothing left to do, Sean.
Yeah, here's some great armor. Well, no, the armor actually came... The armor die comes because of... Just happened to be the last achievement I got is what gave me the armor. Yeah. Had I received that achievement long time ago, I would have had the armor the whole time, but it happened to be the last achievement I get. Right?
It's like getting a gift certificate for your favorite restaurant the day after it closes for good.
Exactly. So anyway, I moved on. I started playing PGA Tour 2K21, and talk about sucking at a game when you first jump in. Holy crap. I kept slicing and fading. It's like, why are my every single hit's just going right off into the rough? It's like, I can't play.
Timing.
I suck.
And that's like I that was the same thing that happened to me until I realized it's not like, because it used to be you could just pull it back, build up your power, and then flick forward, and just so long as you didn't deviate left or right, you'd still have a straight shot. But
it's it is, and I can't figure out the timing. That's the problem. I don't understand the timing.
What you want to do is pull back, and then as soon as it gets to the end, is you flick forward. I actually put, and it's good looking. I actually put 2 fingers on the stick like this, and I pull back, and then like that, so I don't deviate.
What I try, yeah, because if you don't let go, sometimes your thumb just tends to want to go up on an angle. But what I've done actually is I basically hold the stick right on the edge, pull it down, and as I'm about to flick it back up, I don't just push up. I actually make my thumb slightly let go and then grab the top edge and push. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm literally letting go of the stick, grabbing the top edge of the stick, and pushing forward as fast as I can.
All right, so
and that helps. That helps me line up.
That helps you.
Oh yeah, no, it actually helped with the swing a lot. I went into practice mode, and I started. Okay. I basically went to the driving range in the game.
Yeah.
And I started working on ways of perfecting that, and it started getting. I figured out a way to do it so that I don't go off, and it worked really well. But sometimes it is that too slow, too fast. It's like, well, what?
Yeah, it's the timing has to be perfect. Otherwise, you do that, and if you do it really too slow or too fast, it gives you that big yank one direction, and you're like, that sucked.
Timing of what?
It's the momentum from the back to forward momentum. It's like if you were actually taking a golf shot. If you like pulled it back and then it just stopped, and then tried to come through with it, it's going to be a little weird. And that's what it is. You have to get that proper motion.
I don't get it because I'm literally like, I'm pulling back and then going up like back. And then I watch the meter. I watch the meter. And when it gets into the white where you want it to be, I press up immediately. And then it still says too slow. It's like, how can you be any faster? I don't get it.
That's why I use the 2 fingers. I find it's down, up, and it works well.
Yeah, but you like using 2 fingers for that kind of emotion.
Down, up, and then nothing but net.
Yeah, nothing but net.
Nothing but net. I'm really enjoying it. I've actually finished my first, I finished the first tour already.
Oh, so what you did the Q school first?
I've finished the entire first season of the PGA Tour.
Oh, did you jump straight to the tour?
Nope. I just played a lot of golf.
Okay, so you went through the Q school and then you went on to this tournament.
The qualifier.
So you've gone through all that and you've done the PGA. Yeah, so I've only played one night, and it was my first night in. I sucked. I was like 144 in the leaderboard. You have to be like within 50 to move on.
Yeah, I had some work to do, so I sat the laptop down and it was basically just reviewing a lot of stuff. So I'm going through. I've started a new job, so I'm going through all the HR documents, all of that stuff. And as I'm going through the HR documents, it's like a lot of video stuff that you go through, and it's somebody with a monotone voice just telling you, don't speed, don't touch anybody inappropriately.
What?
All of those fun
what kind of
things.
A job is this?
Listen, it's standard stuff now. But so I'm going through those, and I've done them a million times in the past. So I am playing some golf as I go through those, and there's a couple hours worth of those to go through. So I've gone through those, and I've mastered the PGA Tour at the same time.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So I've also been playing a game called A Fold Apart. And this is a very interesting puzzle game. It kind of tells us, it's cartoony,
tells a very cute story of a couple who are separated because of a job. When you actually start this game, you can choose whether you're a male and female couple or 2 males or 2 females. So you can actually choose the characters in the game because it's sort of a love story slash story of how they're feeling because they're apart. One's been sent like halfway across the world for work, and sort of the story is being told through them texting each other, and the puzzles are actually happening during sort of that inner dialogue as you're texting someone, and you sort of like you're typing and you're analyzing what you're about to say, and it's that inner dialogue before they click send, right? To make sure that what they're saying matches, should be what they say. You know, like it's kind of hard to explain, but you know what I'm saying. Make sure that they're saying the right thing, and understanding what that person said and not getting upset and for no reason type thing. But it's kind of an interesting story, but the puzzles themselves really have nothing to do with the story. The story is just there. A fold apart is, imagine you take a piece of paper and you have your character running across this platform that's on the paper, but you can use both sides of the paper to fold it back and forth and flip the paper over in order to get your character from one point to another. You have to get the character to the star. It may be on the other side of the paper, right? But the platforms, you have to always line up the platforms so that she can walk from one to another straight across. There's no jumping. There's no jumping. She has to be able to walk straight from one platform to another. And it's all done through folding the paper in such a way that she can move from one edge to another. And then once she's on another edge, you can unfold that page to bring her around to the other side of the paper if you need her. And then the story itself is told similarly on it's all sheets of paper all kind of overlapping each other, and as you get to the side of the screen or the side of the paper, another sheet flies in and you walk across that, and then eventually you get to another piece of the puzzle where you then have to start folding the paper or unfolding the paper or flipping it's literally that is the action. Fold the edges or flip the paper. And you use all of them in conjunction to get her where she needs to go. Basically, there's a star on the paper that she has to get to somewhere on the page. And there are things that will block her path as well. So there might be there's a little, kind of looks like a little machine that will not allow her to pass. So you have to figure out, how do I cover up the machine with the fold so that she can move across? You know, how do I move just her to the other side to get away from that machine? It's an interesting puzzle mechanic, and I enjoyed it for a time. And if I'm just being honest with the way I felt about it, I loved the concept, but I was finding that the puzzle started to just get kind of frustrating.
Once it got hard, you gave up. I get it.
Thanks, Tico. No, it was just because it's...
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a totally different mentality because it's not 3D. You're actually thinking in 2D here now. We're used to thinking with these games in 3D. Now I have to think in double-sided sheets, remember what's on the other side, and figure out how to fold and then move her, and then fold again or unfold, and then you kind of lose track of where she came from and what lines up with what. And it became, some of them became frustrating, but I also started to feel like I was losing the joy of the puzzle.
Yeah. You get to that point sometimes with these sort of games where they ramp up the difficulty in their puzzle really high, really fast. It's like, well, this one was easy, and then all of a sudden, like, enjoy this one for the next 3 hours because it's going to take you that long to get through it.
It's an absolutely fantastic concept. I love the concept, but being honest, I don't know. I may pick it up again, do a few more levels, because
It's a fascinating concept, and it's a cute story. I mean, I don't mind reading actually the text that's going on.
there's a lot of reading as you're going through, because they're texting each other on the phone, so you're reading the conversation, and there are times when you can actually choose
Between two options of what she sends to her husband, or vice versa, depending on which character you're playing. So you can choose what she sends and go that way.
So it's a fascinating story, but I found that in one sitting I was just getting frustrated with some of the puzzles, and
I had to stop playing.
and maybe it's just a matter of I got to go back to it.
And play more, you know. But yeah, it's a neat concept. I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've never seen anything like it. So if
As a puzzle fan, I love the idea.
The concept, just the execution, maybe was lacking a little bit.
A little bit. It just, yeah. But I know it's worth checking out if you love these kind of puzzle games, and see if you feel the same way as I did, and maybe it's just a game you gotta have.
You can't play it all in one sitting. You got to take a break from it, and I think that might have been it too. Is just that you're really racking your brain as you play, and you get to that point where it's just I'm just tired. I don't think I can do any more. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
take a break, you come back, and then maybe I'll see the fun in it again. So yeah, that is a fold apart, available now on PlayStation, and I believe Xbox as well.
Yeah, it is available on the Xbox as well.
So yeah,
So that's what we've been playing.
Well, we did something else. We hit a milestone on our Instagram, so we hit over 1,000 followers on our Instagram, which is amazing, and thank you for that.
Right.
We are working towards that goal on YouTube as well.
we are
Slower, but we're getting
slow.
there.
We would love for you even right now. Just take a second,
Click that subscribe button, click the like button, leave us a comment.
I would love to get the YouTube subs up. We are working so hard bringing content to this channel right now. We also have an incredible contest going on. Cloud Puncher Games has donated an incredible BoxKing plus 48
Shelves to someone in the United States, to a lucky winner in the United States.
Go to bit.ly/winboxking.
There is a link in the notes below. So click on that link, subscribe to the channel, check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, and you'll get entries.
And at the beginning of October, I'm going to draw for a winner, and it'll be sent directly to you. So check out was it BoxThrone? No, it's like my game shelving or something.
It's called, if you actually search for BoxThrone, it will.
Yeah.
It's My Game Shelves, I think. .com.
Yeah, I think that's right. Which is interesting because it's called BoxThrone. It's a series of incredible gaming shelves with it's an adjustable gaming shelf system, and it's built so that one shelf takes one game, so you're not piling games on top of each other. It's a really brilliant gaming shelf system,
and we actually have one upstairs that Tico and I are going to review soon for the channel, so you can check that out very, very soon. But
so mash that subscribe button.
Yep, and check out just go to the contest entry. There's a lot of ways to get extra entries by sharing the contest link, sharing the YouTube channel. So get yourself in there as many times as possible, because we are very excited to actually be able to give one of these away.
We are so busy. Our next month, we've got 7 weeks planned out already, completely booked 6 days a week
with content, and it's absolutely unbelievable the support we have been getting by these game creators. It's absolutely incredible. So
if you have not seen one of our Kicking Tables episodes,
check it out.
We're doing 3 or 4 episodes a week of that alone.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Nintendo has announced, of course, this is the 35th anniversary of Mario. Happy birthday, Mario. And they announced Super Mario 3D All-Stars
on Switch, and it is a collection coming to the Switch this month, I believe.
Very soon. I think it's like the 13th or something. Super Mario 64, which is the GameCube, the first 3D Super Mario.
Yeah, that was N64.
N64.
Hence 64 in the name. But whatever.
What did I say?
You said GameCube.
Did I say GameCube? Sorry, N64. Super Mario Sunshine.
GameCube.
Which was GameCube, thank you. And then there was Super Mario Galaxy, which was the Wii. And I loved Galaxy. I played Galaxy. I think Mario Galaxy is one of the only Mario games I've ever actually finished right to the end. I never finished 64. I never finished Sunshine. But if I'm being honest, like I look at the trailer for it, and it doesn't look like they've done anything to them. They still look like their original incarnation.
Yeah, probably cleaned it up a little bit, but
I'm like, I don't know if I could play Super Mario 64 again. I don't know if I want to.
I could, and the interesting thing is, I have an N64 lying around in here somewhere with that cartridge, and if it's going to look the same, why wouldn't I just plug that into my TV and go?
Because it's nice not HDMI.
Yeah, I suppose it's well, I mean, yeah, I have one of those thingies, but I suppose it's nice to be able to play it on the handheld and stuff like that. I like when they do this. I'm a fan. I mean, there's no achievements tied to these things or anything like that.
So Tiku will never play them.
I know these things. I like when they come out with these sort of retro things. It allows, for me to be able to hand, Mario 64 to my daughter and say, hey, this is what I played when I was a kid.
And that's when she turns to you and says, Dad, you're old.
Yeah, well, she's fully aware of that. But it's a nice thing to be able to do for people who grew up with these things, to be able to share them with their kids. So I really like when they do come up with these things. And a lot of people will, like, people of our age will be like, oh man, I want to play that again. And they will drop the money for the trilogy, and they will play it again and again and again. And just to be able to have it on a portable handheld device is actually pretty cool.
I know. I'm just, I'd probably play Galaxy again because I enjoyed Galaxy.
Wow, that's a noisy chair you got there, Tico.
Yeah. I made the mistake of starting the show out sitting on my leg. And for the last 5 minutes, I'm like, yeah, that was not a good choice. So I'm going to casually and quietly shift to relieve some of the pressure. And clearly I did a perfect job of that. Nobody noticed. Was not distracting to the show at all in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Please go on.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I agree with you. I like the idea of these compilation, all three games in one. Yep. I'm just, I just don't know how I feel about playing them again. I don't know if I would. That's the problem. As much as I love the idea, I don't know if I would actually play them again. I've got the new Mario that was out on Switch, which is absolutely fantastic, and I haven't even finished that one yet.
Do you know what the price point is for this? Is it like an $80 price point?
It's Nintendo. It's going to be $80.
Yeah, like that's my part. Like if this is like, this should be, you've made your money off of these games a bunch of times over. This should be like a $30 title.
Oh no, it's Nintendo, my friend.
Yeah, I know
it's premium.
Be like, it's probably $90 with a collector's edition or something like that available, like with Mario's mustache on the box in 3D or.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be premium price, my friend. There's some news came out this week that I look. So many people were surprised about this announcement, and I'm like, really? PS5, according to a news article came out, according to Ubisoft, the PS5 will not be compatible with PS3, PS2, or PS1 games. Backwards compatible. And I thought, whoever thought it was? Sony never once said it would be.
No, but I think that people need it to be said still. This is a problem.
They have always said it would play your PS4 games.
Yeah.
They have always said it is backwards compatible with your PS4 games. Nobody has ever said it will be beyond that at all. And yet people are now up in arms and surprised? Why are you surprised at something that was never said?
I don't know. People are
weird. It made no sense to me. The wording, if you look at the wording that Sony has always said, it has always said the PS5 will play your PS4 games. Period.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious why this is an announcement that Ubisoft has made, though.
Yeah, it's had something to do with the way the upgrades work. But it was brought
it seems
out.
odd that it's Ubisoft is the one coming out to clarify
Sony's
position
right
on backwards compatibility.
Right? And now there's articles all week long about the uproar of it's not compatible with PS3 or PS2 or 1 games. I'm like, whoever thought it was? Why is this a thing?
And I'll probably catch flack for this, but who cares?
Who cares?
Who's sitting there like hanging onto a PS2 disc going, man, I can't wait to play this on my $700 PS5.
Right?
Who cares? Like, if you have a PS2 disc still lying around, you probably have a PS2 somewhere lying around. Put it in that.
Well, no, not really. I have PS3, PS2, and PS1 games down there, but I don't have the hardware. I've got a PS3 hardware, that's it.
Yeah, it's a display. It's the display now. That's what that is.
Yeah, and I don't even care. I don't want to play a PS1 game on my PS5. Why? That's honestly that's what
the amazing thing that they're going to have.
That's what PS Now is for, though.
Sorry?
That's what PS Now is for.
Yeah. But what they're going to have for the PS5, which people may not be aware of, is PS5 games.
What?
That are going to look fantastic and designed for that machine. Play those things.
What?
Stop complaining.
PS5
Not trying to save yourself
games?
$60 at launch. You're going, well, I'm going to spend $700 on the system, but I don't quite want to break the bank on a couple of games for it. So I'm going to hold off and play my PS1 stuff. What do you mean I can't play PS1 on this?
That's right.
You sons of...
You
Sorry, that was a reenactment from
sons of
your local GameStop.
Female dogs.
I cut myself off so I didn't have to swear on the show.
Oh, man.
What else did Ubisoft tell us about the gaming industry?
Well, Ubisoft is going to do another Ubisoft Forward on September 10th.
So that's coming up in 6 days. That's going to be cool. Apparently there's a rumor, and I really hope it's true,
that we're going to hear about a new Prince of Persia after 10 years.
All right, here's the thing with Ubisoft rumors. We've also been rumored to hear about a Splinter Cell and everything. That never happened. So let's go away from the rumors of what are they actually going to talk about, Sean?
I don't know, Tico. What are they going to talk about? Actually, they're going to talk about a new game called Immortals Phoenix Rising, which, Tico, I've never heard of before. But apparently we have heard of it.
Yes.
It's Gods and Monsters has been renamed to Immortals Phoenix Rising. I'm sorry, Ubisoft, but Gods and Monsters is the better title.
It is. I don't know. Maybe that Neil Gaiman, came to him and said, "Hey, you guys can't have that name. Maybe there's a copyright to it or something like that."
You're right, because that's his novel.
Gods and Monsters is a far better name. Immortals Phoenix Rising feels like a shareware title, to be honest with you.
Phoenix is spelt almost like Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. It's not even spelt like the Phoenix mythical animal.
I actually thought it was Phoenix Rising until you said Phoenix. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see Phoenix out of that. It did get a release date though.
Oh really?
Yeah, so this is coming out this year in December 2nd, I believe, was announced as a release date as part of this. So I mean, they'll clarify all of that, in a week from now.
Yeah.
But I am glad to see it is coming this year. I mean, we're not too far off from that. I really liked the look of the game when we saw it. Me too. At E3, so I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that just a name change isn't going to deter me from enjoying it.
It just, oh man, the game just does nothing for me, man.
The name does nothing for me.
Gods and Monsters, like I would like to have that on my shelf. It sounds cool. It sounds neat. Immortals Phoenix Rising is like shareware, or I can download it, that game as as an app on my iPhone.
Well, it's the spelling of Phoenix that I don't get. I mean, it makes it look like it's someone's name.
Well, maybe it is.
I guess. I don't know.
Maybe that's the character who's going around killing all the gods and monsters is Phoenix.
Well, it could be. You might not be wrong.
She's rising up the ranks of the monster killing.
I don't know.
I'm out of words now.
I will know more next week. Ubisoft Forward is going to be on the 10th at noon EST, I believe. So, yeah.
I will be watching that while I eat my lunch.
And what I usually do while I eat lunch, though, Tico, is watch television.
I've heard of television before.
I think you have. It's that look to your right. Look to your right. No, your other right. That's your left.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a television.
Got it.
Okay, so Tico, there is a show that I've been watching called Lovecraft Country. You may have heard of it. We may have talked about it before.
We did.
Last
we had a
week,
new episode.
we talked about how episode 2 felt like they tried to cram an entire season's worth of storytelling into one episode and didn't know where it was going from there. Well, it turns out episode 3 was literally a standalone episode. It was its own self-contained story. And you know what was weird about this? Not the fact that they did that. The fact that my mind totally kind of forgot the fact that televisions can be episodic these days. You know, we're so used to serialized television.
Yeah, like everything has to be a part of something else.
We are so used to serialized television that the thought of episodic television today is a foreign concept. And I feel like maybe that's what's going on with Gods and Monsters. Like there is an overarching story going on.
Yeah,
right?
You mean Lovecraft Country.
So what did I say?
Gods and Monsters.
Oh my gosh. All these titles get meshed up in my head. Lovecraft Country is an episodic show.
Yeah. So we're going to get... It felt very familiar to me when I watched this episode of American Horror Story. Like that sort of vibe to it.
It was a haunted house story. And it was so good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And again, we got a start, we got a build up, we got a, and we got an end to that story.
And then a continuation of the overarching mythos.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, I think I can kind of forgive episode 2 to a point, Tico. And I only say that because I still felt like episode 2 tried to do too much all in one episode. It felt
very rushed.
Yeah, way too broken up, way too rushed. It deserved more time to tell that story.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, but episode 3 was a redemption. It was so well done. It was a really great, haunted house story. Freaky at times too.
Yeah. There was some good gore, there was some good kills.
My gosh.
There was some creepy ghosts.
Oh, the creepy the ghost with the bed?
I was thinking about the baby head.
Oh my gosh, what is like it oh, yeah, I don't want to give anything away, but yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but that creeped me out.
Oh, that was so bizarre.
Oh, and that one scene with the one thing at the time?
The thing that happened at that place?
Do you know how hard it is to talk about a show we watched that we both really enjoyed? We both know what happened, but we don't want to spoil it for anybody who happens to be listening to have the conversation.
That's right. At that moment, you remember that? That was so good.
The part in the later part of the thing with the guy
when she did the thing and that guy said the thing and
no the other guy.
The other guy
happened to him.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I know what you're saying. We'll talk about that. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Also, we had today is the 4th of September, which is like the big start date for a bunch of stuff.
So
Mulan dropped on Disney Plus for $30 full dollars.
We
today.
Are going to watch it tonight.
Yep. The Boys season 2 kicked off.
I watched the first episode.
I watched half of the first episode.
Then I am half an episode ahead of you.
You are.
And I'll tell you...
I'm half an episode in. I'm very happy with the new season.
And I will tell you, there's a point in the episode where a thing happens and a person says something.
Good. I'm looking forward to that, too. And we also had the Ridley Scott
Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, that's started as well. So we've got lots of cool things, more TV kicking in, stuff's happening finally. The Boys will have a more in-depth non-spoiler discussion on that after we've watched a couple of episodes. We'll have this, very in-depth, detailed talk about things that we're not going to spoil for you. That's so it'll just be a lot more
when things happen and people say things.
Yeah. So, but I'm a fan so far of what I've seen.
Well,
what are your thoughts so far as to what you've seen
for episode 1 of season 2? I'm actually not entirely sure where they're going with this season. Yeah, it's. I mean,
They're really, really working on Homelander, making him the true
He,
supervillain.
yeah, he's a d-bag.
Oh yeah, like in every sense of the word. And I don't know, man. I just need him taken down a peg or two. Something has to happen to take him down a peg. But the problem is, they've made him so OP. Who can possibly take him down?
All right, off. I'm not can't spoil anything, but I have a thought. But I don't want to spoil anything because I've seen some stuff about some things, and that maybe might be part of the thing that might be happening. How's that for non-spoiler talk?
That's perfect, Tico. That is so cryptic. Even I don't know what you're saying.
Good. We'll discuss at a later point.
Well, I mean, if you've read the books, you probably know, right?
I haven't read the books. There's books.
I said if.
I've
The people who
have read. I know you don't read, Tico.
no. Somebody needs to read it to me.
You just look at the pretty pictures.
Yeah, so big news this week. Chad Boseman, Black Panther, died of
Colon cancer. Apparently, he was battling this colon cancer for the last 4 years.
Which
meaning
is unbelievable to think of what he gave us while fighting that.
While fighting, like Black Panther and the Avengers Civil War, or Captain America Civil War, and both Avengers films.
Both Avengers films, yeah.
Yeah, just absolutely amazing what he accomplished in that time, and in such a short time to become such a beloved actor and character, you know.
Yeah.
Dorothy's, like, Black Panther is my wife's favorite film. Like, when we sit down to watch one of the Marvel films again, she wants to watch Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know, it is a solid film. And there's a lot of fans out there that are basically saying, don't recast T'Challa. Like,
yeah.
You know, what do you think?
I don't think you recast. I think that you let the legacy live on as it is. I think that you can have a new Black Panther. You can have new Black Panther stories and new Black Panther movies without it having to be T'Challa as the Black Panther. I think that you honor what he put into that by allowing him to be his character.
Exactly.
As part of this MCU, at least.
Do you think it should be a new character, or do you think, as some fans do, and I kind of agree, that the mantle should move on to Shuri, his sister?
So, I mean, there's tons of comic canon that points to this. I'm okay with whatever decision is made with that in regards to whether or not it's Shuri or whether or not she gets her own, without having to take on the mantle of the Black Panther, but she can be her own superhero, her own character, which she is and
that's sort of like, I like the idea of the mantle moving to Shuri, but at the same time, Shuri is such a powerful character without being Black Panther.
Right, and that's why I think it would be fantastic to see something along the lines where they do have a new Black Panther take on the mantle, and she is instrumental in training and working with him as part of his team. I think that would be something that I would like to see.
Yeah.
Without, because otherwise you're taking another character away from the MCU, which I don't think needs to happen. I think that you can have a new Black Panther
without it being T'Challa, like move on to
T'Challa.
Maybe Okoye
or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like she would be an amazing Black Panther too, because she is head of security after all.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, and she's Michonne, so
yeah.
she's used to slicing things up.
Yeah, like I think we'll see something. I think it'll be a while before we see any decisions as to what they're going to do with that. They're going to take their time to respect his legacy before I think they start moving on.
Of course, but you got to imagine that Kevin Feige and Marvel already had an idea, because it was no mystery. It was no secret that he was suffering colon cancer. The entire company would have known.
Well, I think it was kept pretty quiet amongst them. I imagine that some executives at Marvel were aware.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Kevin
Yeah.
Feige and the executives would have
Right.
known, and there would have been discussion with him about maybe what his wishes are if this happened, which it now has. You know what I mean? Like, what are his wishes going forward should he not be able to continue?
Yeah.
You know, you got to imagine that conversation was had.
Yeah, it must have. I mean, he was sick throughout the filming of all of these, and he had to obviously leave filming and stuff during these movies to have treatment done and stuff like that. So they would have been fully aware of. Well, I mean, they're signing his insurance, papers and stuff too.
Course,
so they would have been aware of all of that stuff. And yeah, so there must have been some sort of a plan in place as to how they were going to move forward. So that may even already have been possibly worked in some of the script treatments that they've been doing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, I mean, I know Black Panther 2 wasn't for a couple of years anyway,
So
Yeah.
there is time to honor his memory and move on accordingly. So I mean, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He was so regal the way he played that character. You know what I mean? Like he was. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just I felt like he was so like that's just the best I can say. He just felt like a very regal character. You know that. Yeah. I had something I was going to say. Disney Plus has a movie, or I guess, or a show, whatever you want to call it, about him now, to honor his memory, his legacy. So I'm gonna check that out on Disney Channel.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's all about Chadwick Boseman and what he brought, I guess, to the MCU. What he meant.
Definitely worth.
Well, he meant so much to so many people.
Right?
Yeah.
He was huge for the black community.
Finally having a black superhero that was that like honored and
impactful.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Tico, we went through our show notes so freaking quickly today.
That's the fastest ever.
We have nothing left on our show notes. I was looking through the news this week, and I feel like, was it just me, or did nothing actually happen this week in gaming or television?
It was a very quiet. Like I think we had, because Gamescom was last week. There was stuff, but and we talked about that. There was nothing that sort of jumped out and said, "Hey, talk about me."
Well, that's just we have this trouble. We had this trouble last generation, where it was the end of the generation. There's nothing happening. Because the consoles aren't out yet. Sure, we're hearing about a bunch of games. We've already heard about them all. Next week is Ubisoft Forward. Hopefully we hear some new stuff. But we've already talked about everything that's coming this year.
I remember something I saw. We can talk about that right now.
What'd you see?
So the Marvel Avengers game, which came out today, they announced their second DLC character.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing. Marvel Avengers game came out today, and I don't care.
Yeah. But they announced their second DLC character. So they announced Hawkeye would be... Hawkeye is actually their second character that's going to come out for... So the first character that they've announced that is going to be coming out as DLC is Kate Bishop.
Which is a new Hawkeye.
So their first two DLC characters are both archers.
They're both Hawkeye.
So...
Well, when does Spider-Man come?
I don't know when Sony gets anything that's...
Oh.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know when. He might be at launch.
Unless, wait, is it two separate DLC packs, or is it one Hawkeye that you can play as either?
I don't know. It wasn't very clear, but either way, the fact that it's two archers is a very odd choice for your first two.
It would make more sense if it was a single where you can decide if you're Bart Clinton or if you're Kate Bishop.
Clint Barton?
Yes. Clint Barton. What is that? Oh, see?
I had the names right. I just reversed
you were
them.
very, very close. Good for
Bart
you, Sean.
Clinton. Bart?
No, Clint.
No, Clint. Bart Simpson?
It's not. That's exclusive to the Stadia, I believe, is Bart Simpson.
Bart Simpson as Bartman?
That wouldn't be a bad idea for them to do.
Can we get the South Park characters in there too?
We can.
Cartman?
The stick of truth characters.
Stick of truth characters. Let's get all them in there.
It's just another little thing that just seems very odd for this game's release.
I have no love for this game.
I'm mildly.
Did you play more of the demo?
I did not.
You said you were going to.
Yeah, I did say that, and I didn't do it.
Why? Because you weren't impressed to begin with?
I wasn't super impressed.
No.
And again, I started a new job, so my usual schedule of sitting around on my butt and just playing games all day long has been
interrupted by HR stuff.
Well, just work in general is, like actually having to do stuff again is different.
Can you talk about what your new job is?
No.
Okay. It's technology
related, though. We can say that.
It is. We can say it's technology, but yeah, no, I can't discuss
that's fine.
Particulars.
I'll just say it's a pretty cool gig.
It is, and that's all we'll say about it.
It's a pretty cool gig, and I'm kind of jealous. Well, I'm jealous at what you're working with, I guess is the best way to put it. The product is like, it's just, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
cool.
pretty excited
product.
about it. I'm very hyped this week. It's been a week of work, which has been, more than I've done in the last little while. But I am very happy to be back at work, and I'm very happy to be working, and doing what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, let's not push this any further than it needs to. I know it's not an hour, but you know what? Like I said, there's really not a whole lot of gaming news anymore. I think it's going to be pretty dry until November when the new systems come out, and then it's going to be like, let's talk,
Yeah.
So that's episode 383 of the OMG Hour. Don't forget bit.ly/winboxking. Go and enter. We'd love you to subscribe to the channel. Give us those subs and thumbs up and hit that little bell icon, and you'll get notified when we have tons of new content, which is 6 days a week these days. Woo!
At least 6 days, maybe 8.
That's right. Of course, that's all at youtube.com/OMG Nexus. You can follow the show on Twitter at the OMG Hour. The website is at OMG Nexus on Twitter. And Facebook. We are on Facebook as OMG Nexus. Just look us up there. Of course, I am Ziantane everywhere, and that is XIANTAYNE.
You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place and Instagram, where we've just crossed the 1,000 follower mark.
Woo!
Flipping tables with OMG. Be part of the next 1,000.
Yes, do it. And that'll be it for this week. Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
So as we said, please click that subscribe button. Check out those other videos. If you like what we're doing, you'll like those as well. So many episodes. We are talking to so many game creators, tabletop game creators on Kicking Tables. Check that out. Flipping Tables. We review board games. And of course, there's this show, the OMG Hour. Thank you, everybody, for doing it. Click that subscribe. Click the bell icon. And give us a comment.
Press the buttons.
Talk to us.
Do it.
Take care, everybody.
Now. Right now. Do it again. Press it twice.